Hello to anyone that's watching. This is going to be my first ever video. Today I'm just gonna count down my favorite Pokemon. And do expect more Pokemon videos in the future since I'm gonna concentrate on those. So with no more interruptions, let's start. Number 10, Flygon. I personally really like Flygon, probably mostly because it was in my first ever playthrough of Pokemon Sapphire version. It was very useful to me, and I'm still kind of bummed out that Game Freak doesn't pay attention to this beloved dragon. Number 9, Infernape. Out of all the firefighting starters, Blaziken used to be my favorite. However, I just recently started liking Infernape a bit more, since Infernape is quicker and overall has a cooler design. Now that doesn't mean that Blaziken has a bad design or is bad in any way. I just think that Infernape's one is better, and hopefully if Nintendo and Game Freak make a Sinnoh remake, we will get to see a Mega Infernape. Number 8, Lapras. In my opinion, Lapras is an amazing Pokemon with great flexibility with its water/ice type. It gets access to great moves such as Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Blizzard, and more. Lapras is a particularly popular Pokemon because of how commonly it is used as a surfing slave. However, that does not mean that this Pokemon is only an HM slave. Like I said, it can be very strong. If you look at its move pool and stats, you can see that it is meant to be a bulky, stalling Pokemon. Number 7, Serperior. Now, in my opinion, the best part about this Pokemon is its great ability, Contrary. Leaf Storm is a move that benefits from this ability. Instead of lowering the special attack by 2 stages, because of this ability, it raises the special attack by 2 stages respectively. Now, coupling that with the base power of 130 on Leaf Storm, it is truly a great move to use with this ability. Number 6, Staraptor. I don't particularly like the flying type, but I still love this Pokemon. It is speedy and powerful, no question. It has a choice of a lot of strong attacks. I like Brave Bird, Close Combat, and Final Gambit. When looking at its stats, it's a no-brainer that it's supposed to be a quick physical sweeper. Number 5, Samurott. How I love the water type. In most generations, I often went with the water starters, since I like their attacking and special attacking stats to be fairly appealing, mostly because of their design and basically pure power. However, this Pokemon also plays along with its physical moveset. Its special and physical stats are almost the same. However, it has a lot more physical moves. Its move pool is filled to the brim with strong physical attacks. Number 4, Sceptile. Now I know that some of you might be thinking, you might say that the list is filled with starter Pokemon, but think about this for a second. The starters arguably get the most time put into them, aside from the cover legendaries by the developers. They are meant to be the best known legendary of their respective type of that generation, so it's not that hard to realize that starters would be so loved. Now, when I first played the Hoenn games, I picked Mudkip, and don't get me wrong, Swampert is an amazing Pokemon. However, my love for Sceptile started while I started getting hooked onto Pokemon Showdown. With its all-out offensive physical moveset that hadn't existed before the 3rd generation in the previous grass starters, it slices through the competition for my favorite grass starter. Number 3, Clefable. I fell in love with the fairy type once it came out. We finally had a good counter to dragons. Sure, Ice type was great, but Ice types were rather rare, and other types really didn't get stab on Ice Beam or any other ice moves. The only other type to put dragons in their place was Dragon, but you usually got Dragon type Pokemon at the very end of the game. So now we finally have a good counter to dragons. But most dragon types are powerful, and having a fairy on your team is great to just ignore all damage coming from them, and especially Clefable with its amazing ability, Unaware. I have ruined many setup Pokemon like Bisharp that manage to get 3 Swords Dances to max out their attack stat. They hit, they fail. All the stats are taken directly out of the equation, and it gets access to moves like Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Moonblast. Number 2. Blastoise. I love Blastoise, mostly because it's the first starter that I ever picked. The first games I played were Fire Red and Leaf Green. I was debating whether to pick Squirtle or Charmander, but at the end I went with Squirtle. The big guy helped me out of sticky situations. On top of that, it has great coverage using Ice Beam to deal with the main types that resist it like Dragon and Grass. Now, before we get to the number 1 slot, I want to do some honorable mentions. Charizard, Salamence, Dragonite, Kyogre, and Swampert. Number 1. Raichu. I absolutely adore the electric type, only having one weakness and dealing neutral damage to most types, and on top of that effective against the most common type, water. The first time I played through Leaf Green, I didn't want to evolve my Pikachu since I wasn't that skilled and I didn't think of how strong it could be if it evolved. I thought it would be unnecessary. But the moment I put my Thunderstone on my Pikachu, I instantly fell in love. It was very cute and strong. Now Raichu stats aren't that amazing, but I have found a great moveset for it, consisting of Thunderbolt for stab electric damage, Grass Knot to deal with ground and rock types, since most ground types are often paired with the rock type and are very heavy. This works great. Nasty Plot to make the special attack go crazy, and Signal Beam to deal with grass types that resist all the other moves on this moveset. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you liked it, just leave a like and subscribe, and if you didn't like it, I guess dislike and don't subscribe. Okay, bye guys.